We have a next speaker is Dr. Krishnavir Abhishek Challa, my hero, one of my best friends and one of my most amazing people. We are working very, very closely together in India in Vishakhapatnam. He is a professor, and we are starting a center for peace studies together, and I'm so excited about that. And he has a great way of putting things super simple. Also, he's been teaching for a long time. He's written like 200 books or something ridiculous, and he's an incredible person. And so enjoy his presentation. So I'll shut up. You go ahead, Christopher.
Thank you. Thank you, Matt. Thank you so much. I loved your presentation. I was here from 7:45, and there are many takeaways. Name it to tame it, spin it to win it, feel it to heal it. So I love it because I strongly believe, because my presentation focuses on social workers. So I believe that it is very important for them to embrace these emotions. When we can alter our thoughts, when we understand our thoughts, we can alter our feelings, and finally we can have a happy life. As you rightly pointed out, so emotional inner peace is actually emotional success, because you can't control things outside of your purview, but you can control things inside you. So that is the power that you have. That is a power that we generally miss out on. So, and I also love this purposeful positiveness. I loved every bit of your presentation. And to everyone here, Professor Matt is enduring a lot in his life, and he's very strong. So because he can't control things outside his mind, but his mentally, he's doing gym for his mind and is becoming stronger and stronger. He's a role model for me, is an inspiration for me, for the work he's doing, for his energy levels. I always look up to him. I always adore him. Thank you, Matt. Thank you so much. So this journey started with Dr. Dean Van Leeuwen, late Dr. Dean Van Leeuwen, who worked with me on Life Without Anger. And then, during that time, I was actually dealing with anger issues, and it actually helped me a lot. He himself was an angel sent from above. He is angel of peace, angel of happiness, angel of joy, angel of love. So I know when we are talking about three negative emotions, that is sadness, anger, and fear. I had all these three, but with this angel of joy, love, and peace, I could come out of these negative emotions. So sometimes we can do it ourselves. Sometimes we can work on ourselves and come out of it. But sometimes you need someone else to take care of you, to help you. So, as Matt rightly pointed out, so it is, so for example, feel it to heal it. So when you're trying to feel it, you can share it with someone else who is interested or willing to listen to you. Sometimes, just sharing it, it reduces the amount of trauma that you're going through a lot. The amount of stress you're going through, the amount of anxiety you're going through, it reduces a lot. So you need another person. That's where social work comes in. So when you need another person to help you out sometimes, because in this world, we're all social beings, we're all social animals. We need each and every one, because inner peace is just the beginning, and then you have outer peace. And then for world peace, everybody has to be peaceful, and all the peacefuls should join in. So that's when this world will be a better place, a happy place, a place of love. So first you need to brainstorm what, where, when, why, who, and how. So that is, brainstorming is important. So for any social worker, intrapersonal communication, interpersonal communication, group communication, public communication, mass communication, verbal communication, non-verbal communication. Communication is the key for social workers. So that is what I wanted to give importance on. So basically, so before I start with my PPT, I just wanted to share a few things. So you do masters in social work, and then you become a social worker. You work for an NGO. So that's one way. But I strongly believe that every citizen in this world of this country and every person of this world, we have to become social workers. We are automatically social workers actually. So at home, for example, if there's a chaotic scenario at home, automatically we go and intervene and stop the fight, stop the chaos, right? So that is social work. We help when when our sister is sick, when our son is sick, when our daughter is sick, when our mother is sick, we automatically take care because we feel that they're family. So similarly, if you feel that the world is your family, so automatically you become a social worker for the world, and you don't need a degree for it. You don't need someone to ratify you. So what I strongly believed, right? What I strongly trust is that everybody has to become a social worker. We have to become motivators. So we have to become inspiration to everyone. Like how Matt is to me. There are many others who are to you, who you look up to. So that's what gives us a goal. That's what gives us a purpose. That's what actually sails us through the hardships and sufferings of life. So, during 2019, I was affected by a condition called dysphagia, because of which I couldn't swallow solid food. I was only on liquids. So during that time, I was completely down. I was distressed. I was depressed. But there was a hope. There was no NGO near my vicinity who works on patients with dysphagia. There's nothing in India which works for patients with dysphagia and their rehabilitation, their counseling and all. But I found respite in a group on Facebook. On Facebook, there was a group for dysphagia patients. And there they posted stuff. It was not started by any social worker. It was started by patients who were suffering from dysphagia. They themselves started it. They themselves started counseling others who have dysphagia, giving suggestions, motivating them, giving them remedies on how they can eat, how they can enjoy the food. And as Matt rightly pointed out, you have to spin it to win it. When I was depressed, I thought, no, why I have dysphagia? Why me? Why me? Then I understood that, it is something unique. God chose me because I have a higher purpose. And what is that purpose? Because you need to experience the suffering in order to explain it to others. You need to experience it. So you need to, before preaching something, you need to know, you need to feel it. So I felt it. I could spin it. I understood that, maybe I'm unique. Maybe this is something unique. For example, you take a caterpillar. Matt, a caterpillar, as you know, it eats a leaf. It eats leaves actually. It eats a lot. But once it transforms into a butterfly, it only sucks honey. It only sucks liquids. So I was a caterpillar. Then I transformed into a butterfly. I was eating, and then I transformed into a butterfly. And then, I started taking liquids, that honey. So I started looking things in a positive way. That's what I wanted to say. So similarly, you see your streets. There are many stray dogs, stray animals. You have cows, you have dogs, you have cats. There are many stray animals. There's Blue Cross, for dogs, but sometimes every city might not have that. Actually, might not have that organization, might not have that NGO. But we citizens, we have to take it upon ourselves and take care of the strays around us, the stray animals around us. I have seen in Vizag, where I live in, I've seen people taking upon themselves and feeding dogs every night. Every night they feed biscuits, they give water to all the stray dogs, all the stray cats, to the cows. Cows, the advantage with the benefit for a cow is because of religious reasons, it might get some food. But for others, we have to take it upon ourselves because they're part of our big family. They're part of our earth family, right? So that's what I'm trying to portray. That's what I'm trying to put in is we should become social worker, not just by doing masters in social work, not just by getting affiliated to an NGO, not just by working for an NGO. You can become social worker by changing your conscience, by developing your empathy. So that's what because we get happiness by giving. The real satisfaction comes by giving, not by taking. So how much you give that much love, that much happiness, that much peace, that much joy you endure. So, Matt, can you just display my presentation if it's feasible? Yes, everyone becomes a social worker. So, because social work, I believe it is a duty that everyone has to uh, delve upon. So it's a duty, it's our duty, it's our fundamental duty. We have fundamental rights, we have fundamental duties, and we have directive principles. Helping others might be a directive principle, but we need to consciously make it our duty. So that is the summary of my presentation.
I'm pulling it up now. Give me just a minute.
Yeah.
Go ahead and keep talking about social workers, because some of my favorite people, a lot of my best friends are social workers. It's pretty amazing. I found that they are, it's one of the most emotionally painful jobs there is. And so they're trying to work with people and teach them about their emotions, and they got to deal with their own at the same time. So it's tough. It's tough.
True. Yes, Matt. So basically, I got a message saying that, people feed biscuits to animals is one of the worst things. But it's not just about feeding, it's also about vaccinating. So, when you are taking care of strays, vaccination plays a major role. You have to vaccinate the animal because, when people, they form into groups, and when they take care of strays, what they also do is they take care of the vaccination. So the vaccination is also plays an integral role in taking care of the strays. It's not just about feeding, is what I wanted to convey. See the impacts of it. Basically, yes, there is a lot of breeding. You have a lot of pups, but the most important thing is getting them vaccinated. So because they live with you, and the main thing with dogs, or especially dogs, is that they can't hunt for living. They're completely dependent because they're domesticated 30,000 years ago. So it is our responsibility to vaccinate them also. So basically, what I wanted to say is it's not just about strays and all. It's about It's about working on forums, creating groups where you can help people who have who are suffering similar trauma like you. No, you can, because there's something called sympathy. Sympathy is you show, some sort of love. You show some sort of interest. You show some sort of concern. But empathy is, you can only feel empathy when you actually felt it. So, for example, you take dysphagia. There are people who showed concern, but people who are really suffering from dysphagia can only empathize with me. Others can only sympathize. So I believe that, if someone is suffering from an issue, if they have some sort of trauma or some suffering, what they can do is they can actually do something for people, who are going through the same boat, who are sailing through the same boat. They can assist them, they can help them actually through sharing their experiences. That is what I mean by every person has to become an individual social worker. Yes. Next slide, Matt.
Okay, your PowerPoint's up.
Yes, Matt. Next slide.
Okay.
So emotional intelligence for social workers is very, very important. So social work is not just a profession, it's a human responsibility. As I've already told you, it's a responsibility. It's not just a profession. Everybody, it's a fundamental duty. Every citizen should be a social worker, because society's problems cannot be solved by one person. It requires collective participation. So a socially conscious citizen observes suffering, responds mindfully, and supports community well-being. This leads to a compassionate, emotionally healthier society. Next slide. Next slide, ma'am. So emotional intelligence, I guess everybody knows, self-awareness, understanding your emotions, self-regulation, controlling your emotions or regulating your emotions, and motivation, your inner drive, and then empathy and social skills. Next slide, ma'am. So next slide, we'll talk about emotional intelligence for social workers. Next slide, ma'am. Yeah. So self-awareness here, next, please come to the, yes slide. Yes, the previous slide, ma'am. Yeah. So self-awareness builds authenticity and reduces bias. So mainly it's when we're in the field of social work, it's common for us to show bias. So it's very important that you come out of this bias, you take an equanimous position, and then you build authenticity for yourself as a social worker. And then empathy, understanding the pain, the trauma, the suffering, the marginalization, right? The discrimination that they went through. Yes. And then the assault that they've gone through. And then self-regulation. So basically, it's applicable for people for social workers who are working in orphanages and old age homes. Sometimes they have burnouts taking care of them. So, it's very important to understand so that you self-regulate your emotions to prevent burnouts, because social workers also have burnouts, because social workers are also human beings. But at the same time, as Matt rightly said, we have the power. And then social skills, enhance communication, because social worker is basically a counselor, a motivator. He's everything. So he should have all the skills, especially communication skills. So he has to enhance his social skills, communicate, and then collaborate. So motivation, focus on dignity, equity, and justice. So it is about dignity and then equity, because everybody has to prosper. That is very important. And then justice for everyone. So linking emotional intelligence with social consciousness. So social consciousness is equal to emotional maturity plus civic responsibility. So here you have emotionally grown inside, and now you have to show that outside. So Matt was talking about inner peace, and now I'm talking about outer peace, outer love, and outer joy. How we have to collaborate for a better society. So emotionally intelligent citizens see problems as shared human issues. For example, someone in another city, or another city is facing a crisis. Some other country is facing a war. What I have to do with that? Definitely, one day it will come to you also. So it is a collective responsibility. For example, during 2019 December, we showed sympathy towards China because it was fighting COVID. We thought it won't come to us. But then by 2020 March, COVID is in India. So the world's problems are your problems. So you have to think about solutions. You have to give your guidance. You have to give your suggestions. You have to give your assistance. You shouldn't just you can't just separate yourself from the society. You are an individual, yes, but at the same time, this individuality is protected by the society you're living in. It's qualified by the society you're living in. So it promotes solidarity and moral accountability. Next slide. So transforming society through EI-driven citizenship. So emotional intelligence leads to inclusive thinking about everyone. When you want to be happy with your family, it's not just your family, it's your street, it's your city, it's your state, it's your country, it's your continent, it's the world, it's the universe. So encourage proactive community involvement. So it's very important that you have community groups, individuals. I'm not talking about social workers who are professional. I'm talking about individuals who want to become social workers. You need to have proactive community involvement, developing community groups, community action groups. So builds a cooperative and morally accountable society. Next slide. Next slide. So practical applications. So as a social worker, as a person who wants to become a social worker, you have to develop this innate ability to listen without judgment, help others without expecting credit, volunteer and support social causes, respectfully speak up against injustice, promote mental health and equity. Next slide. So building EI, so emotional intelligence, how you can build, it's actually given to be my Matt, Professor Matt, practice mindfulness. In Buddhism, there's a beautiful concept of mindfulness, being in the present, and then journaling your emotions, journaling your day-to-day activities, journaling what you felt, what you did, how you did, who were involved, what your lesson was. Engage in empathy exercises, join dialogue circles and workshops, attend as many workshops as possible, and become a volunteer. For example, Professor Matt, he has a beautiful organization called EQ for Peace. He's taking in volunteers for his organization. You can volunteer with him, understanding emotions, how you can do, because I believe that, Professor Matt Pearlstein and people like him are social workers because they are helping us to handle our emotions. Next slide. So call to action. You don't need a title. You don't need a title to be a social worker. You don't need a PG to be a social worker. You can just be guided by empathy and emotional intelligence. Let every citizen be a social worker. Let emotional intelligence be the foundation. Next slide. So here, there's a beautiful quote by Mahatma Gandhi. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. So the best way you can find yourself, if I can find your true purpose, your true identity, is to lose yourself in helping others, in serving others. Because Mahatma Gandhi, he was not a professional social worker, but he understood that it is his duty as a human being. Because we are given empathy, we are given intellect, we are given wisdom, because there's a higher purpose. It's not just about eating and sleeping. It's also seeing that other people are also fed and other people are also happy. That's why we have this intelligence, we have this IQ, so that we can use EQ for productive purposes, for helping others. And adding to that, and to serve meaningfully, you need to know and manage your emotions well. If you really want to help others, the first thing you can do is to help yourself by managing your emotions. And then you can help others in managing their emotions, and there you can take care of their well-being and welfare. Thank you so much. So I'm open to questions.
Wonderful. I love your message of that everyone becomes a social worker. That's such a good point. And it feels great. It feels great to help other people. I call it give to live. It's just it's one of the best feelings, like Mahatma Gandhi said, is to losing yourself in others. It's working for me. I love it. I love it. Love helping
Yes, and
people.
I got a message. So it's about so people are talking about strays, helping strays, whether it's good or not. So it's just about feeding. It's not just about feeding the strays. It's about vaccinating them, sterilizing them. Because when you take care of someone, it's not just about feeding them. It's also about holistic welfare. So when you talk about a dog, it's about feeding it. It's about vaccinating it. It's about sterilizing it. So one thing is, and also animal birth control is also something which is very important. For that, we need to collaborate with government organizations and see to it that they act. Sometimes, when you become a social worker, you have this duty to see whether the government is doing its duty properly or not. Whether they are serving the society in a right manner or not. Whether they are doing their job properly or not. That is also very important, right? You just can't leave the strays No, it's not just about taking the strays, it's about whether the government is taking care of them or not properly. Because our safety is also important, their safety is also equally important. Yes. So I actually wanted a very small presentation. So any
Thank you,
questions?
Krishnaveer.
Yes, sir.
A very insightful session.
Thank
Like,
you.
as you said, everyone is born social worker naturally.
Yes.
No, everyone tend to contribute for the well-being of self and also others naturally.
Yes.
So when we see something happening around, we empathize with it, we sympathize with it, and we try to, do what best we can. Naturally, that is a natural tendency of human
Yes.
being. So everyone has that quality of, feeling and empathizing naturally with anyone, not just human being, birds, animals, all the living beings around.
Yes.
So it's a natural tendency, but unfortunately, that natural tendency is decreasing in this materialistic world.
Yes.
So we need to, regenerate that trait which is being lost.
Yes. Yes.
That is only possible, with people like you who are, like Matt. We are
Thank you,
seeing him since 4 decades,
sir.
constantly on off, battling,
Yes, yes.
to bring
Professor
such
Matt is
skills.
definitely an inspiration because this enthusiasm at with he's enduring a lot, but at the same time his enthusiasm is 100 times more, 100 times more than what he's enduring, more
Yeah,
than
yeah.
his suffering. So I is actually, he actually motivates me to do certain things. Sometimes I generally, try to procrastinate, but he tries to motivate me and get me back to the groove. So definitely, as you rightly pointed out, sir, what I strongly feel is nowadays, especially from the COVID era, we are so engrossed into virtual world that we are losing connections with the real world, and
Yes.
most of the emotional problems that we have stem from this.
Mm.
So the social work also, it comes only when you are able to connect with the real world. So when you're lost in the virtual world, you lose your innate tendency to help others, to serve others. And as Matt rightly pointed out, because of these games, GTA and all, where they shoot and kill people, people are losing their empathy, sympathy. They're becoming more hostile, more volatile. So it is very important to take care of them. And also, there are a lot of scams in this virtual world. People should be aware. People should be mindful of them also. So definitely, yes, sir. As you rightly pointed out, it is in us, and it is up for us to share with everyone because it's a gift that only human beings received, and this gift is not just for us; it's for us to spread to everyone. It's for us to cascade and disseminate to everyone. Thank you, sir. Thank
Uh,
you for the opportunity, sir. Thank you, Matt. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. As you rightly said, more of this bystander effect that is happening, we can see. Earlier people used to come forward to offer help,
Yes.
but everyone is now taking out mobiles, iPads, and, trying to capture that instead of saving lives, instead of, coming for rescue. This kind of tendency is also increasing. This is also unfortunate.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
I've seen recently also, there was an accident I've seen 1 month ago, and most of them are just standing there and looking at instead of helping. They're saying that they're thinking someone else will help them, but you have to take the initiative. It is you. You are the hero there. You are the protagonist. You have to take the initiative. Sometimes you have to become the leader. It's not just about shoving it on someone else. You have to take the responsibility. So emotional
And it
responsibility,
and
as
it's a
Matt
little
said.
and it's self-centered a little bit because it feels good to give. It feels really
Yes,
helpful
yes,
to be in to know that you're making a difference, that you are a valid person, and It feels awesome. I think
Thank you, Matt.
makes me
Yes.
happy about who I
Sometimes,
am.
you know, sometimes being selfless gives us that selfish boost.
Yeah, there you go. Nicely put. Nicely put. Nice.
So thank you, Matt, once again
Right on.
for inviting Chella Krishnavir once again to this
Thank you.
platform, and
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
definitely it was a value addition along with other speakers, and we need to really connect back to ourselves. As you rightly pointed out, we are more living in virtual world, so we have to connect to reality in this real world, and definitely we need to be conscious, and we need to be aware of emotions, like Matt was always saying. Be conscious, recognize, name your emotions, work on your emotions, identify and intervene emotions, so that identify and play with those emotions, live with those emotions, embrace those emotions, and you can embrace your life. Thanks for the wonderful session. Over to you, man. Thank you, children.
Thank you. Thank you so much,
Okay.
sir. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you, Matt. Thank you. Thank you for the
Yes.
opportunity.
Thank you for your
Thank you.